Hi, my name is MAXI.
And I'm
Chrissy.
and take
Alright, that's all I'm saying.
So we're gonna use the thing, I love it.
Hi, my name is MAXI.
And I'm Anzoategui. And we are turning things inside out on the inside. No.
Yeah.
In or stay out. No.
Hi guys!
Hi.
It's another week of the Inside Noise Show! We have 2 episodes left. This week
Yep.
and next week.
And then that's it.
Until September.
So sad. I'm gonna miss you.
We're hanging out all summer.
Oh yeah. I
We're
forgot.
making shit happen.
Yeah, we're going
remember?
to the beach.
And getting bikini waxes.
And we are not using sunscreen. I mean, well, I won't be.
I will be drowning.
But she won't be getting in the water.
Well, I will if it's up to my knees.
Okay.
But if I could actually see what's in the water, I would even consider going waist deep.
Ooh.
If I cannot see what's in the water,
So we might have to
We're gonna,
travel
like-
to the East Coast.
yeah,
Yeah.
knee mid-thigh situation if can't see. So, you know.
If anybody would like to sponsor us for plane tickets to the East Coast, we can do an episode of Inside Noise
We can.
Show.
We absolutely can, as long as
Becky.
it's not like in your sex dungeon or your bedroom. We're in.
Yes.
We're in.
I love that caveat.
Wait, hold on. I don't know if this sounds on. I'm so glad I just thought about this. Oh my god. Facebook.
Facebook, you just missed the funniest thing ever.
Facebook. Pretty much we're not doing a show in your sex dungeon or bedroom. Anywhere else we will. That's what
Yeah.
you just missed, Facebook.
Yeah.
Whew, glad I caught that in the nick of effing time.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, so let's get into our favorite thing of the week.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing?
You need to go first.
Okay, mine is super shallow. Like
Okay.
the shallowest of the shallow.
Mine. Okay.
Okay, so on this past Sunday, I went climbing at one of the climbing gyms, and they have food trucks outside, or a food truck, I should say. And I've never had this food truck before, but it was called Spiros Gyros, okay? And I love Mediterranean and Middle Eastern food, right? Because I used to live in Saudi Arabia. And so I ordered some food, and it was like this diced marinated chicken. There was tzatziki sauce, there was french fries, there was pita bread, right? You put that all in some pita. There's like this delicious Greek salad. And it was the best food I've had in such a long time. And I wanted to stock the shit out of it. And I was like, do you guys have an actual storefront? The guy's like, not yet. And I'm like, so I just have to figure out where your truck's gonna be next to eat this again? But it was so delicious and amazing. And the guy, I don't know the owner's name, but he gave us some baklava on the house. And that was fucking good too. So my favorite thing was eating Spiros Gyros. I've literally been dreaming of the food since then. I'm like, I gotta figure out where they're next.
See, I think that's really great. I think yours is awesome. I think it's super generous because you totally plugged them.
I did.
Right?
Spiros Gyros.
Mine is super just selfish. Like
Okay.
it's super self-indulgent.
That's fine. Let's hear it.
Okay, so other than this show, I also have
You
a
do a
film
lot.
festival
Ton of shit.
and like I have a production
Lot of stuff.
company. Anyway, so I've been promoting this new series. And like I'm on Facebook every effing day. And I'm like, this is what we're doing. I'm like explaining it eloquently.
Yes.
And saying exactly what it is. And it's like crickets. And this morning, I write the biggest message in the world.
Right.
Like looking for this and this to do this. And I get like 1,000 messages. And I'm like, what?
That
Oh.
shows you that people's attention spans, this is a good
Right.
marketing thing you're learning.
Yeah.
They're like this big, and they just want basic shit.
Yeah. I was like, are you serious? I said like 3 words and people were like, "Brr." I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm working way too hard on Facebook.
Well, think about when you use like Instagram,
Yeah.
right? And you scroll through your feed, it's like this, and you see pictures and you see captions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see captions that are like this fucking long. They're telling a story, which is great. It's a form of expression. I never read them.
No.
Ever. But when the captions are like this, I'm like, oh, cool, Nina, what's up? Like it, go to the next one.
Damn.
Isn't that terrible?
It's
But that's reality.
That's reality. So big learning curve, super selfish thing of the week. But now I'm like, ooh.
But now you know what's up.
I'm like, ambiguity,
Yeah.
vagueness, it wins.
Hey,
Learning
yeah,
curve.
there we go, we got it. Okay guys, so we're gonna jump into just a couple things of what's going on in the world, because we do have Maggie Hanna with 2 Chicks Cocktails with us, and we're just, we gotta get to her, but let's just talk briefly about what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to shout it out to the Obamas. This is one of my favorite fucking things I've heard in a long damn time.
excited.
Netflix has inked a deal with the Obamas, and they're going to be producing a diverse mix of content. It's got scripted series, unscripted, docu-series, documentaries, features, and the Obamas are going to be not only in front, but behind the camera. And I love that their quote is, "We hope to cultivate and curate the talented, inspiring, creative voices who are able to promote greater empathy and understanding between peoples and help them share their stories with the entire world." I love that.
I love that.
They're my favorite humans ever. And for all of you in the production side of things, they just set up a company called Higher Ground Productions, and they're looking to hire a bunch of producers.
Ooh.
So get out there, Google the name of the company, get the fuck in there and submit your shit.
We both need to do that.
I actually thought about that.
No, we'd have to do that.
Imagine working with the Obamas.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'd do.
I don't even know what I would do.
Like, hello.
I would die. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
So that was the big standout for me this week. What about you?
Okay, so guys, we talked about the Black Klansman last week on the show.
Yes.
Just to remind you, that was a movie playing at Cannes Film Festival. Director Spike Lee. It also has John David Washington, Denzel Washington's hot son, who is playing a black detective. He launches an undercover investigation with the KKK, and he has a partner. His colleague is white, so that's the one who infiltrates.
Or Kylo Ren, whatever the fuck his name is.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. Yep, him.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's offspring.
That guy.
That guy.
Anyway, so guys, that movie walked away with the Grand Prix Award. And if you're not familiar with the Grand Prix, it's the second best award at Cannes Film Festival, or Cannes, whatever the hell. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? The thing that it's second to is the Palme d'Or.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. Sounds like a French thing.
Am I saying it right? Can you at least say it right?
Oh, it would be the Palme d'Or.
Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's second to that, and that guy won. He was a Japanese director.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to pronounce his name.
Ooh.
It was Hirokazu Koreeda.
I feel like that was a good pronunciation.
Yeah?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not Japanese,
awesome.
so maybe.
And his film is Shoplifters. So guys, look out for those two winners when they come into the movie theaters.
I can't
so excited.
fucking wait for Black Klansman.
Cannot wait.
There's gonna be a line.
So good.
There's gonna be a line for that. We're gonna have to pre-order your ticket.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm down.
Damn.
Okay,
Go Spike Lee.
Go Spike Lee. So even though we have a lot more we want to talk about, we're a little behind schedule. We got to jump into things with Two Chicks Cocktails. So we're gonna grab Maggie Hanna, and she's gonna talk to us about what's going on in the world of cocktails.
Woo!
Hi, Pumpkin.
Hi, lady.
Why are you so cute?
Why are you so
cute.
cute?
Hi.
So happy to see both of you ladies. Make sure I'm not just giving anybody a show here.
Well, whatever you want, we're open to anything on the show.
So many times I've done that.
Non-judgmental.
Well, we were speaking about the Obamas, and I always think if I ran into Barack,
Yeah. What would happen?
Oh my gosh.
I would crawl in his lap and ask him to stroke my hair and tell me that everything's going to be okay.
Look away, Michelle. Look away.
Not in that way, Michelle. I want you on the next end. I'm going to crawl into your lap next.
You know what?
You're
We'll
number
do
two.
mutual stroking.
Yeah, but it's like fatherly almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just tell me that we're going to survive.
Actually, I think
Tell me
the
we're all
same
going to
way.
be okay. Just
I have this fantasy that they start their own country, or that California secedes and they become the president forever and ever and ever.
forever.
That would make me
no
so
term,
happy.
no term limits. No term limits.
I think he's so happy to be out though.
I think he
like
is.
honestly.
For sure, but then Uncle Joe could come in, you know what I mean? Yeah, we could just we could make some memes
Right?
and just enjoy life.
Coco.
Oh.
Drink a little Two Chicks.
Oh, Two Chicks.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely feel,
Hello.
I think Michelle would be like, yeah, also I can keep these arms looking amazing and still drink this.
That's true.
So guys, Maggie comes with us whenever we have 5 Thursdays. We throw her in the mix. She's got a great brand, Two Chicks Cocktails. For those who aren't familiar with your brand, just give them a little what's up with it.
Okay, yeah, so Two Chicks Cocktails is an all-natural, sugar-free, gluten-free, vodka-based cocktail. They're sweetened with stevia, but I made them because I wanted to create a brand that was about being supportive and empowering to each other as women and not competing with one another. So 10% of my proceeds goes to scholarship other women in pursuing their passion.
That's
amazing.
Yes.
So you had some big news last time you came on. I want to follow up with it.
Okay,
You were
so
getting into Ralph's.
I got into Ralph's. So 2 weeks ago, we launched in all Southern California Ralph stores. So please go out and buy a bottle and post it.
Yes.
Post it and tag me. Two Chicks Cocktails on Insta, Facebook, Twitter. It's all the same.
And you were working at having sparkling versions.
sparkling versions are coming this fall.
Okay, coming in the
Nice.
fall,
Yes.
and a sparkling tequila. When's that happening?
In-
Is that fall?
Yep, in a can.
Okay.
Oh, in a can?
In a can, so you can take it to the beach or to a lake or to the park.
So when
I mean, no public areas. Just joking. I'm joking.
Unless you're in Vegas.
Maybe I did that when my kids were little.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
I feel like
I
it's
was like,
tradition. People do that at concerts.
Yeah, it's water.
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's water.
Fine. Everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. So yeah, it launched 2 weeks ago at all SoCal Ralph stores.
And how's it going?
It's good. I mean, it's coming off the shelf, and that's what I want.
Yay.
That's what I need, and
Yay!
need people so we can also, number one, my purpose to give back more money and
Right.
help other women pursue their passions, but also two, to just spread this message and also support the launch of what's happening in the fall.
And how amazing is it to see this dream that you've been working towards just grow?
You know, it's funny, I was with my spiritual healer yesterday, and she said to me, you know, Megan, she's like, I have to tell you, she's like, that I've been inspired by your blind faith this entire time, because she's been on this journey with me, like from day one. Like, I have sobbed on her couch multiple times, and that I will say, like, I had to speak to a class of like MBA students not that long ago at UCI, and I said, the one thing, if you can take anything away from me, stay so clear in your vision and release all attachment to how you're going to get there. Because it never is about, it's just like, I know I'm going there, I'm not really, and this is me all the time. I know I'm going there, not sure exactly how, but then God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, lines all of that up for you, and you just got to follow those breadcrumbs and do the work and take the risk. It is blind faith. But because I feel that 2 Chicks is my way to serve,
Yeah.
that is why I know that it has been like blessed, and God has shown up for me 100% of the time, and always better in a way that I could have ever like fathomed in my own mind.
Right.
It's always been like bigger and better and exceeded my expectations. Whether it's with 2 chicks and relationships, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just being like, okay, you're showing me this, I'm jumping. Please catch me. Please catch me.
That's great. I think for me that's the hardest is the risk, taking the risk and trusting you're going to get to where you're supposed to get when you take that risk.
But my best friend Yvonne, who's also like a part of 2 Chicks, she was my first investor, you know, she always says to me, like, God put this dream on your heart, Megan. God didn't put this on this person's heart or that person's heart. So how dare you not go after it when it's been put on your heart?
Love that.
Yeah. So trusting that if you are having this vision or you're having this dream, there's a reason you're having it, because God is trusting you to go out and do that.
Yeah.
And handle it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I like that.
You don't want that idea to float to somebody else.
No, definitely not.
That's your idea.
You got to take it.
Yeah, and nobody
Go.
is you, and that is your power, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Right.
nobody else could do like whatever it
Whatever
is
you're doing,
that but you're envisioning, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Go get snockered with 2 Chicks.
Please do, and post all about it.
Guys, Memorial Day,
Oh yeah,
it's
perfect.
coming up.
Coming up.
Pour it over ice. Throw some fruit in there.
Perfect
some
for a
LaCroix, and it's
barbecue.
oh yeah, make that into like a sangria.
And
the
guys,
lemon is my personal favorite. Actually,
You mix
with
the
over
2
ice.
together.
Super good.
It's freaking fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay? So just
Here, I'll hold it.
Yeah, get in on this situation.
Yeah, so yummy.
Should
so
we
yummy.
open one?
We can open one. Let's do
I
it.
brought plenty of bottles.
Do it.
We need some ice.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We took care of it
Oh,
already.
I love you guys.
We
Look at
are
this.
sneaky.
You guys are so efficient.
How do
I don't
we
know how
do
to
this?
quick. Efficient AF. Okay, just pour half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Look at this, guys.
So easy.
Feel inspired. Get a glass. Go to Ralph's. Please get yourself
Thank
some 2
you.
Chicks.
Yes. No, thank you. Perfect. Oh yeah.
Half and
There you
half.
go. I'll pass that one to you.
So it's already like a cocktail without
It is.
us having to do
Yeah.
anything
And
additionally.
It's completely natural. And the reason the bottle stains is because there's like legit blueberries in that bottle. So.
Oh.
You guys notice we
And
didn't
lemon?
add any mixers. We just poured straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
And mixed them
I took
together.
a sip without toasting.
Ladies,
Sorry, guys.
Toast.
Ladies, to dreams.
Cheers.
There we go.
It's so good.
So good every time.
You know, every time I drink it, I'm
Delicious.
like, damn, that shit's good.
It's that shit.
Yeah,
is
it
so
is.
good. That shit is so good.
It's super
Yay.
refreshing.
Well, and there's no sugar, so no headache.
Ooh, girl.
See?
And this is 30 proof. Like,
Yeah,
this
it's strong.
is no joke.
Yeah, be careful, because you can drink it and be like, whoopsie, I'm now shit faced. So we don't want to do that. But
Or oopsie, I'm shit.
so the other thing I wanted to do with you girls today
Okay,
was,
can't wait.
okay, so one of the things I do every day is I always ask, I meditate every day, and then I ask for like a message or whatever.
Oh, I love
so
that you
often
do that.
the way, and my daughters as well. So what I do in the morning is like I have a lot of different affirmation kind of decks, but then I just say, oh, you know, pick your card, and that's kind of like your your message for the day.
I fucking
so
love this.
I brought some affirmations.
Okay.
These are the Danielle Laporte Truth Bombs.
Ooh.
And I thought we would all pick one.
Okay.
And just know, like, before you pick it, just be like, okay, what message do I need to be shown? And you're going to keep your card also. Like, you're going to keep it because it's the message
really?
that you
Keep
need.
it?
Yes, of course.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. What are you talking about?
I don't
Absolutely.
know.
Okay, girls.
You guys,
This is how we do this. Okay.
I love you,
She
Megan.
helps our
She's the
spirits
best.
and our alcohol. Like, she's everything in one package.
Okay. All right, angels. God, let us receive the right message that we need to hear. So, you the ladies pick first.
Go ahead, Mommy.
Okay, I need to get in the right place. One.
Okay. Okay.
Your turn. Just grab, dig in there.
Okay.
The cards, by the way. Okay, let's read them.
Okay.
I love it. Okay. What does yours say?
Meditate before you medicate. See, everyone has been telling me about meditation. I've just been like ignoring it, like ignoring everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't need to do it.
I love the angels that said this.
Everyone and their mom has been like, you need to meditate, and I'm like, no, I don't.
I say that too.
Well, also,
You say it to everyone.
also like God, the universe, the angels, whatever you live in, like, they also just said that to you.
Maybe I should start meditating, guys. I don't know. I feel like this is like the 17th message that tells me now it's written in Facebook.
It will.
Okay, I'm gonna start meditating.
It will change your life.
Okay, I'm gonna
Well,
start
last week we
meditating.
learned how to breathe, remember?
Yes, we talked about meditation last week. Literally, almost every guest we've had this season, somehow meditation has got brought up.
Yeah, and they're all spiritual.
I've ignored it every time.
So here's the problem though with that. You're gonna keep ignoring it, and then you know what God's gonna do? He's gonna get like a goddamn sledgehammer and just start hitting you in the head. Do you know what I mean? And you're gonna be like, oh.
Okay.
Do you think he'll bring Thor to do that?
Will he wear your shirt?
If he does, will you call me so I can show up for this?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Good. Okay. What is yours?
What do you got?
Ooh, metamorphosis is naturally destructive. Whoa, that's
Okay.
intense.
That's
All right.
intense. What does that feel like for you?
It's interesting because my company's name is Chrysalis, which is like all about, you know, the butterfly coming into the world
Which
through a
being in
very painful,
Yes, they're a very painful experience.
and it's a, you know, the growth. So this speaks super close to my heart that this is something I really needed to hear. You know what I mean? That like, because sometimes I feel like it's that thing of, oh, am I not being matched for the universe? Are things not going right? Am I like putting this out there and not having it come to fruition? You know what I mean? But it's not that. It's a trust. It's a natural trust, and knowing that
Blind faith.
exactly, knowing that it's coming, knowing
But
that.
also too, what I can tell people is like when you get back to your spiritual self, whatever that is and whatever that looks like for you, and you really start to align, it is so incredibly painful. It is not pretty. Like you see, like when people think of spirituality, they think of like some, you know, beautiful, like yogi-looking blonde, like all like ooh in the beach. No, it's like who's that nasty character in Lord of the Rings?
Gollum?
Yeah.
Gollum. That's a little more like what it is. Okay? You're more like, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna get out of here alive? Oh my gosh, it's awful. So that's such a beautiful message because it
amazing.
really is like it's a turbulent journey to you,
Yeah.
to really being aligned. Oh, I love what the angels
Love
do.
it, love it,
Okay,
love
what
it.
did you get?
Pay closer attention to your fantasies.
Ooh.
I hope so.
I'm like, is Thor in that?
You and Thor, what is
Dude,
going on?
he's so hot.
Or maybe Beckham. Maybe Beckham because I just saw.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I mean, you are his type though.
I
You are his
feel like if
type.
I dropped like maybe like 80 pounds, I could be more like Beckham's
I
type.
mean, yeah,
but
she is really like.
She is.
Sorry, Victoria, we
Not
love you. We
that way,
love
you're
you.
gorgeous. You're
Women's
gorgeous.
right.
I just don't have the bone structure for that.
No,
you know,
no.
it's just never
No.
gonna
Hey, but girl,
happen.
but you got the calves for days.
I do have.
Yes.
I do have the soccer legs. I do have the
I
soccer
love
legs.
those soccer legs.
Yeah,
Have
it's
them
true.
over here.
Oh my gosh! Well, I love that you guys got these messages.
Thank you.
You're keeping those, and you need to put them on your mirror.
Thank you, angels.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you for having me on.
Oh God! In the fall, when you come back to
Yeah.
update us on the sparkly tequila,
Well, hopefully I'll bring some.
I will make a goal to have started meditating by then, and I'll tell you what has happened.
I'm gonna keep
Start
her
with 5
accountable
minutes.
this summer because we're
Please
gonna be
do.
together every week.
Even just 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
5 minutes.
Five
You know what? When I started with the Deepak Oprah ones. Those
Okay.
are easiest for
The
me to
Oprah
follow.
ones,
now
yeah.
I do that in silence, but I started with those.
Okay.
I needed like a guided
Guided meditation.
sit your ass down, this is what we're doing kind of thing.
Okay.
So you
gonna
can get
try
that.
it.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming.
Always.
Tell people where to find
Thank
and
you.
follow and support you. Where is your social media?
At 2 Chicks Cocktails on Insta, at 2 Chicks Cocktails on Facebook, TWOCHX Cocktails on Twitter, but go to Ralph's and Bevmo and Liquorama.net online. You can order from Liquorama.
Yes.
But yes, otherwise Bevmo and Ralph's, please go buy them and please post.
Yay!
Love it.
Yes, okay.
Oh, we'll see you in the fall.
In the fall for sure.
Guys, we're going to take a really short break. We're going to get set up for our guest, Sarah. We cannot wait. Hang tight. We'll be with you in a jiff. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're still drinking. We've brought Sarah into the picture, who's being good and just partaking in water.
H2O.
But, you know, we might corrupt him later. Not sure.
They're pro.
Welcome to the show. It's so lovely to have you.
This is so cool, y'all.
I have to say, your style is delightful.
Thank you.
I was stalking you on Instagram, and you're a very stylish human. And then you show up, and you're equally stylish in person. So.
And they smell super good. You-
Really? Wait,
like,
can I get a smell?
Is this
Oh,
live?
dear
Or did they
Lord,
get,
right?
It's a set. We're like 4-dimensional. They can smell you too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me waft
We're
on
high
back.
tech. High tech on the inside moisture.
Right? So high tech. So let's jump into your career a little bit because it's pretty effing amazing. So I honestly think you're pretty self-made. You've been writing and producing since high school. And talk about, and I know you growing up had a little bit, it wasn't the easiest life growing up for you. And I love how you kind of turned to the arts to be your outlet and it kind of gave you hope. And you want to talk a little bit about that?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, I hear what you're saying about like self-made, you know, but I also feel that I needed my community. I needed like friends. I needed to find out what friends mean
Yeah.
as well and what that meant, what support meant to be able to continue to sustain, you know, all the creations I had, which led me to be cast on TV. And at first, you know, like, oh yeah, it would be great, you know, if, you know, you always watch TV as a kid and growing up, and I was like, partially what, you know, I would, like, if you didn't have, as a kid, you have anyone to talk to sometimes,
Right.
well, the TV, right, was like something that I could be like relating to and everything. So it was something that like I knew that I was gonna do, but I didn't know how.
Right.
And when I saw John Leguizamo perform,
Yeah.
and I was like, something in me awakened, like, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up from the couch because I'd be watching TV, and I was in high school, you know, and I was really, and even after high school, like just starting college, I was just like, I don't know, you know, what I want to do. I want to do this, but I'm too scared. I wanted to be a singer. I was too scared to sing in front of people. And so then I just kind of like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then eventually theater came about, you know, and then when I saw John Leguizamo, I said, okay, this is what I want to do, solo performance. I can impersonate like my family. I can like, you know, make it funny. I didn't want to think it's funny.
Right, but
I think
it's funny.
And other people were like, that's funny. So, and it just sort of, it also empowered me that it's like other people were connecting to my story. So I was so scared to actually like jump into solo performance because one thing is like, you know, auditioning, getting a copy. The other thing is having the discipline to sit down or to stand and write or to do it however.
Absolutely.
And to continue that process. And then what does it look like? Because you do one show, but then you're like, what's the...
Right. Was that a one-hit wonder?
Yeah.
Was that
like
a
continue
fluke?
to produce?
Yeah, or even it's like, dang, like, wow, it's a lot. So I just continue to be inspired by other people, other artists, and never stop with just like theater. It was like dance. It was, you know, art in different ways and forms to inform my own work. So constantly keep learning, constantly, like I don't know everything. And I think it's important for any creator, any artist to be like, I don't know.
Right.
Because so much is like all the answers start to come, and then if you know, then you will miss the answers that are really going to help you in that particular situation. So it's also learning for myself how to be open to the universe and to my own ability, like to, I have it. It doesn't have to be so hard because everything was like, dang, everything's like, oh my God, it's like I work so hard, and yeah, like my bones hurt, and I'm only like 20, you know, and all that, you know what I mean? So, but it doesn't have to be so hard too, you know. You learn like like, okay, well, maybe it could be easier. Things can come easier instead of having to constantly be working and negotiating that within my body, like, as well. It's such a long journey, but I didn't know it was gonna. I kind of knew it was gonna get me to it. I didn't know how or what, and I just focused on theater and my solo work and and making a great show all the time. Because I think sometimes we get stuck in, I want this, I want that, and then like the work. As long as I focus on the work and making the work good, then that's what would keep me going. So, and it proves to be so, you know.
Well, the work is good. I mean, you had a couple shows that you did in the early 2000s, and they sold out, and people kept coming, and you even dabbled in, I think you wrote a song as well for one of your shows.
Well, they wrote the song. I would write the spoken word stuff. But I did work with collaborators, you know, and to work with Luis Perez and Los Lobos, like, was huge because I grew up with their music, you know, watching La Bamba, and that was like, I watched it over and over again. It was like one of those things that you didn't see too many brown people on TV at the time, and like, it was like, wow. Then to grow up and be like, what? You believe in me and my solo show and you want to write music for it? So that was beautiful, and it lends itself, like, people believe in you as an artist, or believed in me, like, at the time, because I would just constantly be doing it over and over and then proving like this is good, or that I could, you know, make this as best as possible, and then people want to work with me, and so that was very valuable because they were so talented. You know, sometimes you find people want to work with you too, but it's not like it may not be the right connection at the time or the right project, and sometimes you try to make it work, and this sort of just it came into place, you know. It all just, even though it's one of the hardest things to do, it all just started to unfold itself really easily once I like let go of what I thought and just let it happen.
I think that is hard for a lot of. It's hard for me. I mean, I know since I moved out here, like, my ideals and my dreams definitely have changed, and I think it's about being okay with them changing and moving, but staying, like you're saying, staying focused on the work and staying focused on what you love, and then it'll all pan out in the end.
That's right. And the process too is so important.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I just saw a version of Evangeline.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they had just a few months ago, and I saw that you worked on that project as well. What was your role in that project?
I played. It was
you were in
VIDA,
it. Oh, okay.
I played the funny comedic role, and then for that it was a great play for me. Play with music. I was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical for Broadway World.
Yeah,
and that was great. Because getting into, you know, that sort of a credit or being seen by critics in the theater,
absolutely,
as a person of color, or being how I am in person and my gender identity, sometimes is like it is a bias in reviews and stuff, and especially also being Latinx, you know, and so it's important to break through that, and then you know, but having these roles and then and continue, like, it was like one of those things where it's like scene stealing, and I was like, oh, but it's like, you know, it's sorry, we're dealing with very deep content at the time, and also then you need the comedic relief, so that's where I would come in.
But you know what, I think, I mean, I'm kind of jumping ahead from where I want to go, but I want to totally acknowledge the reviews that you've been getting on VIDA are fucking amazing.
Right?
I don't know if you've been reading them, but like, I was just reading one from Vulture earlier, and they were just talking about your performance on episode 3 as Eddie was just fucking phenomenal. It was so moving, the monologue was beautiful, you're so vulnerable, and they're saying you're just one of the strongest players in the entire show. And I wish I had stars!
Well, you can get the stars out. It's only 6 episodes only, it's not like, you know, that long.
That's true.
And then there's a free trial period, and then, you know, there's only like 1 episode left, and, you know, if that.
Yeah,
now we're like,
I'm like, you better plug.
Yeah, and then
soon, like, watch my show.
And soon, you can just binge it if you want, but be careful when you binge it, because you need support. You need to call your homies. Just sit next to me while I watch VIDA. Like, it's really like, hey, what? But it's because there's so much going on. It's like a roller coaster. You just want it was like that.
I mean, the show itself, the show itself is very groundbreaking in 100 different ways. You know, like you were saying, it's Latinx. It's created by females. It's, you know, it's showcasing the LGBTQIA lifestyle. It's just kicking ass in 100 different ways, and I think, and everyone's loving it. That's fucking phenomenal.
It's like a dream, like a total dream. And you're like, oh, you want to, you know, you get a series regular, or like, oh, that's a dream come true. But then to like all the other stuff that's going on, it's like, wait, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, like. we're all Latinx, we're all like so many women that are all of creative heads or women, like all of that, and then it's like everything that's like great reviews, and there's like no review, like I don't read them, but from what other people
I read
tell
them
me,
and I didn't see any negative reviews.
No.
Yeah, they go, can it be longer? And they write to me, please.
Right? So
And I'm like, I'll let them know.
And then they ask about your voice too, right? They ask about your perspective and your point of view,
Yes.
and helping to craft the scene work.
Absolutely.
I read specifically about a sex scene.
Oh, that's from this episode number 3.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing sex scene. Yeah, which
Incredible.
yeah. And what was great about the sex scene, it was between someone identifying as femme lesbian and someone identifying as non-binary, and it was a sex scene between the two, and it wasn't exploiting women's sexuality.
Right.
It was very much a woman being in charge of her own sexuality.
Yeah.
And
And different kinds of sex. Like we have
Right.
different kinds of sex, and we generally see just one kind of sex, and that's because
Right.
this one's told by the queer femme lens. Like,
Right.
And queer also is it's different means different for different queer people.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing to see that. It's like almost like, dang, finally, because like
Right.
even in L Word, you would see the sex scenes, but it was generally like I didn't felt like
they're
this
kind of
is taking
softer around the edges.
like this is like this
Or-
sex, and it's great. It's a different kind of sex,
Right.
but this is
Or
like we're showing
crafted to
other
make
kind of sex, like.
Heterosexual people understand the sex.
And then there's that too. Sometimes that feels
Right.
like, oh, we're watching, and it's like, oh, this is for everybody to watch.
right, right, to kind of
And this
I
is-
don't know, make it nice and neat and pretty. I guess I don't know.
Right. However it is.
However it is.
But in
this is like,
reality,
and this one's like, Vida's like, oh, am I supposed to be in this bedroom right now? Oh my God, I'm inside the sheets. Like, okay. That's how it feels when you're watching. I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. I can't.
Love it.
I can't. And it's like really intense, but that's how it is. And everybody's
brave.
so wonderful, on the show, and like all the crew, and from the top, obviously from producers
Yeah.
down. Actually, stars to the point where they took a class, a workshop that they had someone come to the offices. All the executives took a workshop of what non-binary means.
that's
And
I
amazing.
love that.
And that's not even the character. That's me as an actor. Like I was like, what? Well, you mean they took a class about
Right.
understanding queer identity because of Eddie? It's like, no, because you're playing Eddie. They want to know who you are and understand what your identity. I was like, what?
But that's
I was like, what?
That's really,
I
really,
was like,
really
right,
important.
like,
I mean,
oh my gosh.
I'm a teaching artist, and I know that with my nonprofit organization that I teach for, we did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found to be really amazing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the LGBTQ movement is going just beyond the LGBTQ community and really becoming a universal movement. So it's kind of incorporating everybody. Like everybody has an identity, whether they know about it or not. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we haven't really talked about gender identity as much, and they always like, oh, they look at me and they're like, oh, then you're a lesbian, oh, you're this, or you're that, and I'm like, you don't even know.
Right.
And that's the conversations we need to have, because you
Right.
can't just assume by looking at somebody that they're
One thing or the
one
other,
or the
yeah.
other, or any, and it's a multiple identity.
Right.
I go by they, them, theirs, and sometimes it's easier for people to understand. I have multiple identities, and then maybe, that's why they're like, the grammar. And I understand, but it's also about disrupting language, because
Yeah.
we use the same language, and so we're in its confines to be able to continue to use the same and not change with the people and the times, and so that's a challenge even for progressive people to be like, oh, the X, and oh, why this and that, and it's like, well, it's also great because we're shifting, and it's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
do you teach that? But it's also because queer LGBTQI have multiple identities, disabled, or they have like the disabled community hasn't been like as visible on television. So there's that too. There's
Right.
so much of like we don't see disability when we look at LGBT. We want to see the hot femme, or we want to see the cute.
Totally,
You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's so much in that lens to. They're like the multiplicity of issues that we have, and just like actually see each other as people and talk to each other without having to be like then we could actually see human beings and even see ourselves in deeper ways.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's really beautiful. And I didn't know, like I was reading the list and learning about it because
Yes.
someone was coming to talk to us about it as teaching artists. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, I didn't know that I had identification. I had no idea.
Oh, that you yourself, Moni, has identification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cisgender, just the fact that I even have a gender, I had no idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I love that movement, and I really do think it's a universal thing.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy because also we speak Spanish on set. So
Okay.
the director, at first, the episode 1, the pilot director, Alonso is Mexican, and my showrunner is Mexican. My lead is Mexican. I'm South American. Like we all speak Spanish,
Yeah.
and it was like an in between all the time. And she's like, okay, so we know that we talk this way, Spanish, whenever. And so we want to refer to you like in Spanish. What do we say to the crew and to Alonso to refer to you? And I had to then really go into what, and then she sent me all this. Like Tanya would send me a link to ella, like what the, ella, what it means, and like that's putting the E instead of the A and the O because it's so gendered and we gender everything.
Really?
Because everything,
wow.
I know I took French for a long time and I know it's the same in Spanish. Everything is like male or female pronouns.
Yeah.
Everything. And there's no room for in between.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so the E was actually, it felt good and to learn through, a link and you're learning all the time too. I mean, even when I was going to college, I was like finding myself and my identity, but I didn't even know that there was a difference between my gender and my sexuality.
Well, that's another thing that I wanted to ask. I mean, like, we're the same age. We grew up, we're all around the same age, and we grew up in the same time. And
that would be mid-20s in case you're watching.
We're in our mid-20s. And that being said, it wasn't, LGBTQ was prevalent at that time, but gender identity was not.
No.
You know what I mean?
No
and
way.
so this is a new thing, not new to me.
Right, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But, for example, I have a 13-year-old kid in my class who is non-binary, and I was like, oh, okay. And it was an exercise of learning how to use they, instead of identifying them as male or female, right? So it's a learning curve, I think, also for our generation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And a beautiful path to take because once I started to like really uncover, dang, I'm like, whoa, I'm saying all this stuff I didn't know. I was more conscious of how my language owned me.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I can't get out of these sayings. I can't get out of the, what am like, and then I started questioning like, dang, am I really genuinely like unique and, like expressing myself if I'm using all these words that I'm like, I don't even like, it doesn't even fit anymore. There's always sayings, and it's like, well, now there could be other sayings now.
Right. Absolutely. So true.
Do you ever get tired of like explaining to people or like having to be a spokesperson for the movement, or I don't know, because I feel like you're kind of put in this position being an a star.
Thank you. Well, I grew up, at the same time y'all, and I think one of the things I was really into was Def Comedy Jam and comedians, but then you couldn't really come out because then that if you were anything queer or anything visibly, dyke or anything visibly like, the F word or whatever, then it's like, oh, then you're going to be made fun of. Then you're going to be torn down because other people think it's funny. But it's not funny when transgender people, non-binary, like LGBTQ are constantly the butt of the joke.
Right.
So it was like a hard thing, and then now it's like, oh my God, now the content that we have is so, I feel like it's more reflecting of now instead of like being behind. Like we're starting to, get there in that. And so I started getting used to it because I would go to universities to do like workshops, or I would perform at universities. I would meet professors and I would meet students, and I would be part of these like even like weekend stuff or like a week long, type of whatever it was, like seminars and that kind of stuff. And it was like I had to be confronted with others that would teach me. And I learned through also other people that were identifying as they, them, zer, like all these different identities, like ladies and all this. And I'm like, oh, interesting use of ladies. Because if you look at ladies, a lot of times it's very like, it's feminine. It's very like, oh, ladies, you stay here. You do this, ladies do this. You do. And so it almost feels like you're in a box or something. So then when people are like, don't call me lady, and they get mad at me, right? Like, what the, And I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to use lady. So for me, I had the experience of what it's like, to be able to mess up with my own people, and then some people just still, to this day, do not forgive for those things. And I'm like, I learned from that too, like, because I think it's also like when you start to learn your identity and start to grasp like the meanings behind what scholars coin to me, like this is what this means, this is what I identify with that, and you start getting into like, yeah, this is, you know, the justice part, like Harvey Milk, you know, you know, all these things, you're like, yeah, and transgender like issues and Sylvia Rivera and all, like, you know, Stonewall and all that, and you're like, yeah, and so any little things, like, I'm finding my identity, and it's like, boom, what'd you say? Shut you down. No, because don't you know? And in a way, it's like that is part of their process, because I went through it too.
Yeah.
And I feel even when working with like social services and I would be working with transgender individuals and families and everything, and I would be like, it would be immigrant or it'd be different identities, but I would mess up, or we would have these frictions, and I had to understand where they were coming from. I had to then work my empathy and get my own issues out of the way to be able to be like, okay, I'm not gonna take it personally, so what does that look like to not take it personally? Like, you know, because so I did a lot of work within myself. I did a lot of like, you know, self-care, self-help, you know. I did different kinds of stuff that would be required, like looking within. So spirituality, meditation, I know you all talked about that. Did a lot of that.
Angel card.
Angel card. Thank you. You know,
yours was kind of, I was like, whoa.
Amazing.
That was like on point.
Yes.
I was like, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it is true. Self-care, self-preservation to maintain the career and also life, because we can look at activists and also like a lot of times they've had shorter lives. You know, they've had cancers, they've had like Audre Lorde. There's so many people that have been great and have been in some ways scholars and have been in ways writing about it, been in the trenches. And so that, you know, it's to look at the predecessors, at ancestors, transcestors, and be like, okay, how can I learn from this? Because they are like fighting, they're doing this, and they're writing beautiful language in these books, and it's like, you know, theories, but how can I really like make it so I can live my life? Because, you know, sometimes things don't happen till later. And so I want to be alive for the fruits of my labor.
That's right.
Me too.
Exactly. Yeah, it's real. You
are.
We're making it happen.
We're in it.
Making it happen.
We're in it.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So we have to shout out to Ashley Campazano of East Los
Hey,
High.
Ashley.
Hey, girl. I've had her on a couple times. She's one of my favorite humans. And you look at that bitch's Instagram, everything's a fucking catalog picture, okay?
Yes.
She is too beautiful for her own good. I love you. You're too beautiful for your own
I follow you wherever you travel.
right?
She's on it. She's like,
she is on it.
it's so great.
She did contests and shit the other day for Kettle One. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Go on with your bad self, Ashley. Go on with your bad self.
Yes, the
Because
summer
you're
is here.
nice.
The summer is here.
Right?
Yes,
Right.
and always the summers was like really like, you know, when it's like East Los High, it's like always a thing, you know, summertime and high school. That was always like a thing. So I feel, you know, summertime's coming and it always reminds me of East Los High.
Yeah.
But East Los High is long.
How was working on that set?
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we
It's a
had
great show.
so many different, you know, we had the big cast.
Yeah.
I told
Oh,
the
it's
big
a huge cast. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would just always look forward to be like, okay, I want to have the dancers here because I want to dance when I'm not on like working, like, and I'm on break for like a bit. I'm gonna chill and like we're gonna get down, and it was just like so much fun, you know.
Yeah.
And then we had fan days. You know, we would have a lot of fan days. Like, I mean, it was
That's cool.
It was great, and just that was so special. Just to get to see the fans that are so like. They went out of their way from far away to come, and that was really special because then you have those moments with the one-on-one, and then there was times like I remember one fan just broke down and cried. It was like, oh my god, you know.
Well,
like,
that
this
show
whole
as well touched on so many poignant issues. It touched on abortion. It touched on a ton of things, and it discussed it in a really great way that could start conversations between teens and their parents. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah, it was great because I could be like, I'm 16.
Yeah, you are.
And like
I mean, look at the skin.
Right,
16 all
exactly.
the way.
And now we're 25.
And we're always
and
25.
so now we're back. 25.
Forever. So I don't want to end with you because we're having a ton of fucking fun, but we do have a musical performance to get
Yes.
to. So please tell people where they can like find, follow, support you. And listen, Sarah's not just a phenomenal fucking actor. You have artivism going on. Like you're involved in your community, you're making shit happen. So where can people find, follow, and support you?
Well, I'm on Instagram, Facebook fan page, and Twitter. And you can find me under Ser, S-E-R. And my last name is long.
It's long. It's
Anzoategui. And in Spanish, it's Anzoategui.
Anzoategui.
Yeah, and then it's A-N-Z. And then you'll find me.
And then you will find me. Absolutely. Just
Just
put
put
A-N-Z.
Said A-N-Z, and then like,
that's-
don't take a nap, but like, oh, and then
And then you get like 26 pages of Google because there's everywhere. So
True.
you know, just get there.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Okay, guys, so hang tight. We'll be right back with our live performance with Maxi. Don't go anywhere. We're still drinking. See you in a bit.
Thank you, Inside Noise.
Here we go. Hi, everyone. We're still drinking. Maxi just accused me of being an alcoholic.
No, I
So
didn't.
rude.
No, I didn't.
For the record, we have had one drink.
Actually, I've had two.
Oh.
I've had two
Oh,
beers.
dang,
Well,
really?
this is my second
I'm
beer.
This is my second.
behind.
This is my second.
I'm nursing, apparently.
Ta-da!
Yay!
Cheers.
Also, Anthony from PR told me not to say the F word anymore, but
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not gonna listen. So anyways, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
are
for
welcome.
having me.
I don't know how the F I haven't had you on earlier.
I don't know.
You know what?
Thank you for having me. This
Here's
is
what I
great.
do. When I see people that I'm interested in bringing on the show, I take a picture of them and I save it in my phone or my iPad.
And then you scroll through, you're like, all
Then I
right.
scroll through and it's time to book. And iCloud decided to link itself up and it pulled all this stuff from who the F knows when. And you were like way
You can say
back
fuck,
there.
it's okay.
You who the fuck knows when.
Yeah,
You like, you were like way back there from literally like a year ago.
No shit,
I
really?
pulled your picture a year ago and I was like, wait, how did he get lost? And then I saw that we had all these friends in common that I've had on the show. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a gamble on that.
Hell
this
yeah.
week. And then you're like, I'm in. I'm like, yeah. So that's what happened.
I was quick to respond, right?
You were so
Yeah.
quick to respond. Some people are not.
Right.
I had one individual who I don't remember their name who was like, so I don't get this. Like, are you paying me? And I was like, okay, homeboy, I'm here to promote you.
Exactly.
So we'll talk later. Bye.
Yeah.
And there goes your chance on being on the
Exactly.
Inside Noise show.
Right.
But you know, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
are
Thank you.
funk, soul, pop, rock.
Yeah. Soul, pop, yeah, all that
All of the
stuff.
above. How'd you get started with music?
I first started, like my first like inspiration with music was I was playing like air guitar when I was probably 8 years old.
That's fantastic.
I'm sure it sounded fabulous.
But biggest like influence probably Sade. She's like my
Ooh.
#1 favorite.
I've never heard
Really?
anyone say that.
Yeah, she's my #1.
I love that.
I think like my parents were listening to that, dancing to that, probably when like my mom was pregnant. So I'm sure like when
Right,
I was
it like
in the
permeated
belly,
the
I'm
womb.
sure I was hearing
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
So you're telling me like girls with short hair?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay, so I need to go.
I'm like, have fun, guys.
Bye bye.
I'm gonna go over here with my 2 chicks.
Okay, go on. So Sade permeated the womb.
Yeah, and I'd say, my first introduction to playing guitar and music was my aunt is like this amazing artist, kind of like a traditional hippie, so
Cool.
to speak. Yeah.
All right.
And I would always go to her house, like on holidays, pick up her guitar, and she would kind of teach me how to play, and then start taking guitar lessons, and that's kind of how it started. Yeah, it started through her for sure.
Yeah. And then at what point were you like, this is it, man, this is life?
I think when I was like 13, 14, I'd
Ooh,
been
love
playing for like a couple years, a few years, and I was just like, you know what, like for me, it's like my type of mind is that it's always working, and it's always like doesn't shut off. Right?
Yeah.
And so music was always something where it was like, okay, this is something where it allows me to kind of like zone out, and it's like just this one thing. It's like very meditative. So I think that's where around that age.
Ken, this is 18, number 18.
Meditate. Jesus.
So when you write, like, what's your process like?
Process is mostly chords first. So
Okay.
like I'll come up with like. So it's always a chord progression first, and then comes the lyrics. So sometimes it's something that's very well thought out, and it'll be like one line a week. Like it'll be like literally like a whole week, and I'll only get one line.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like literally sit down and a whole verse comes out. So it's usually chord progression first, lyrics second, and almost every one of my songs is like based off of like a real experience or like one person or something like that. So I really need I need like something to like motivate me to write a song.
Okay.
It's hard for me to just sit down.
Is this interview motivating you to write a song?
Absolutely.
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so you're currently kind of in the middle of a tour that's continuing on into the fall.
Yeah.
With Soulful of Noise.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So Soulful of Noise is this like incredible. It's like a collective of soul R&B musicians.
Yeah.
And so we're doing basically the West Coast. Furthest north we go is Seattle, I think.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really pumped to play up there. But it's been amazing. We've done like San Diego, a bunch of spots in LA so far. But yeah, most of the like further dates are in June and July.
How'd you get hooked up with that?
Similar. So Lanisha of Soulful of Noise found me on Instagram.
Hi, Lanisha.
Hi, Lanisha. Thank you. And she hit me up on Instagram and was just like, hey, like I like your song, like you want to come and play for us sometime? And yeah, first day I went and then haven't stopped since. It's been amazing.
And they're a really cool platform. They kind of like to showcase indie performers.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So it's all independent artists, and it's some of the most talented vocalists I've ever had the pleasure of
encountering.
Exactly. Yeah, playing with, and the house band's incredible. So it's an amazing experience, and I feel very fortunate to be part of it.
Is their website soulfulofnoise.com?
I think so. I'm actually not even sure if they have a website right now. But their Instagram
let's plug
is
that.
Soulful of Noise. So please go on to Instagram, check them out. The house band's incredible. Lanisha and Xavier run the whole thing, and they're amazing.
You go, guys. We love supporting indie
Go over
artists.
there.
You go. Okay, you also play a mean electric guitar.
Oh, thanks.
That shit is great.
Thanks.
Guys, it's a real treat. And you got a show coming up June 1st?
Yes, June 1st at Lucky Strike Live. Be there.
We
I'm on
should
at 10.
go. Birthday
it's free.
show.
It's
For
totally
you?
free.
Is it your birthday? Do you want to do
Is
it for your
it?
birthday?
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta come. All right. Happy
Okay,
birthday.
I gotta write that on my calendar. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
June 1st.
We'll be there.
Be there.
To a birthday show where Maxi's playing.
Yeah.
Lucky Strike Live. Oh. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited about the song you're gonna play.
Okay.
What kind
Well,
of-
I was gonna leave it up for you guys to decide.
No,
what
I
type
like
of
the
song
artist
to
to choose.
Okay.
However you feel is what you should play.
Okay.
But you can tell us about the song if you want to, or you
Okay.
don't have to.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play this song called Love Sports, which I wrote the chords to this probably 3 years ago, right?
Okay.
And it was probably a year and a half ago that I wrote the lyrics after kind of living in LA for a little bit. And I mean, it's kind of like a love song, but it's also something kind of like, wanting to hang out with a girl, and it's kind of like tough. It's about kind of like the LA like dating.
Yeah, if you live more than like 12 miles away from each other, it's not
Forget
gonna
that shit.
happen. If you're gonna take more than one freeway to get to each other, there's
Right.
a bad chance it's gonna work out.
Well, and there's always the thing of looking for the next best thing.
yeah,
in
that's
LA.
fucked up. I'm gonna blame Tinder for that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, what are they doing? Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
It's not-
But anyway, it's
Yeah.
also like kind of a personal song. You'll hear it in the lyrics. So it's kind of like first verse is like about where I'm at. Second verse is kind of about where this girl was at. And it's kind of like a back
This is about a real human, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
do you know who you are? Are you watching the Inside Noise show?
Are you crying yourself to sleep because you regret your bad decision?
my
sorry. But I'm not really sorry.
Yeah, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, we're good. Maxi, this is
Okay.
all you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm quick to judge, fast in love. Oh, I'm falling through your fingertips to get a buzz, baby. You might know the way I grow on you, for you, the truth. Oh, no, back and forth. I wonder that text me out. You hold trials for your love spawns, and I'm falling to another day, and I never let the girl sweat me, and I'm falling to another day, and I won't let you sweat me. I try to heat up your oven, but I need a house on a hill to get your attention. Let my eyes do some work on you. Well, I'm just a short dude, nothing to lose. Oh no, no, back and forth. I won the battle, baby, lost the war. What's this all about? Text me out. You hold trials for your love sports, and I fall into another day, and I never let the girl sweat me, and I fall into another day, and I won't let you sweat me. I wake up to another day, baby, yeah. I wake up to more of your bullshit, yeah. So whoa, 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 get your shit and go today. Call me in 10 years when you know something about pay or don't. No, I don't give a fuck, no. And I fall into another day, and I'm never gonna let that girl sweat me. And I fall, no, I won't, no, I won't. And I fall into another day, and I'm never gonna let you sweat me. And I fall, yeah. I won't let that girl sweat me.
That's
Nice.
the nicest way I've ever heard anyone tell you to get your shit and go.
Get your shit and leave. I was thinking the exact same thing.
I was like, oh!
I was like, ugh. He said, I don't give a fuck.
Oh man,
Amazing.
that is probably the nicest way anyone to get the fuck out.
Well,
He ain't
thanks,
sweating you,
John.
girl.
No, girl. He's moved on, okay? So tell people where they can find, follow, and support you.
So everything right now is on Instagram. So please, if you have Instagram, it's I am MAXI. It's MAXI with an I. My full name is Maximilian, so you just chop that up, and it goes MAXI. So I am MAXI on Instagram, please.
If you're not on Instagram, I don't know what's wrong with you or what you're doing with your life, but it's
Well, it
fine.
means I need to get a website.
No judgment.
If you don't have an Instagram, it means I need to get a website.
That's right. Guys, this has been another installment of the Inside Noise Show. We've got one episode left before season 2 is over. We'll be back in September. Don't cry. We will be here. We have lots of thank yous, okay? Right? We got to thank Maggie Hanna for bringing the alcohol
Hello,
and the,
two
angel
chicks.
cards, right?
Yes.
Sarah over there for kicking ass and taking names. That's fabulous. Mixology 101 for letting us haunt the place and me scream the F word. Sorry.
In front of customers.
Oh, please. Let's show it to Nikki, our bartender. She gave us glasses and
yes.
ice.
Thank you, Nikki.
Repeated occasions. Thank you.
That's true.
And we will see everybody next week. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Hang tight, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you.